Star Wars 7 by 7 episode 2466. Did you know that 2021 is Lucasfilm's 50th anniversary? I feel like I've been sleeping on the job because it just occurred to me based on the Del Rey announcements earlier this past week, and so I thought I would touch base on this whole 50th anniversary business. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7 by 7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So the actual anniversary hasn't happened yet. It's December 10th according to Wikipedia, and yeah, we've got some time as far as that goes. Now there was an announcement back in December of 2020, on December 3rd actually, saying that there was going to be a big to-do in the world of Lucasfilm in celebration of the 50th anniversary in 2021, and that would begin in January. So here actually is the statement. This comes from Paul Southern, who is Lucasfilm's Senior Vice President of Licensing and Franchise. He said, consumer products have always been an integral part of the Star Wars fan experience, and they remain a constant force in pop culture today. To commemorate Lucasfilm's 50 years of storytelling, we look forward to honoring this consumer products legacy and bringing to life brand new products, games, and publishing offerings that celebrate our future with Lucasfilm's exciting feature films and Disney Plus series ahead. Now, I'm laughing through it because on the one hand, it's kind of like Lucasfilm's storytelling legacy is consumer products. It's a mythology that is carried forward for 50 years of storytelling, and so yeah, on the one hand, you're celebrating with consumer products? Not sure. But then again, when you consider the history of Lucasfilm and the fact that the story goes that Lucas kept the merchandising rights when he was doing his original contracts for Star Wars, and boy oh boy was that a good thing because it's made so much more money for him than just the movies themselves, and it has been the foundation, the wellspring for so many incredible creative advancements in storytelling from the technology standpoint, that is. And yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand, and that's always been a fascinating bit of a conundrum because on the one hand, Lucas has said, I try to tell the stories, the stories that I can with the technology that I have, but sometimes the technology hasn't been where he's hoped it would be, and it's caused him maybe perhaps at times to focus a little bit more on the technology and a little less on the story. Yeah, from time to time. And I'm kind of laughing at myself too because just yesterday I was talking on the podcast about how the merchandise aspect of things for Star Wars, that we wouldn't be talking about that too much this month because it's really only as merchandise helps us understand and advance what we know about Star Wars storytelling that we really kind of pursue merchandise stuff on here. And without any big merchandising events, then there's not really much to talk about. But, when I saw the Del Rey announcement and was like, 50th anniversary in this publishing thing, well, that's fascinating. And then I went back and found that December 2020 thing where they're talking about brand new products, brand new games, and brand new publishing things. And yes, you could probably say that the High Republic would fall under the publishing thing, but they haven't really said this is because of Lucasfilm's 50th anniversary, the way that they have with the announcement that they just did about the Essential Legends collection, where they're releasing 3 novels in trade paperback, which is larger than the mass market paperback, the regular tiny sized ones, if you will. And they're doing it, with 3 books that, there's a part of me that wants to say, gosh, does this mean that they're calling them essential because that's sort of a step toward making them officially canon again? But it seems difficult to consider the possibility that Heir to the Empire by Timothy Zahn is going to become canon again. I just, nothing against it by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that is 5 years in, and based on where the Empire is and Imperial remnants and where we have them now in terms of the Mandalorian, for example, and all of the stuff that happened in storytelling from 4 ABY to 5 ABY, whether it's the Alphabet Squadron novels or the Aftermath novels or other storytelling that takes place within that time space, Star Wars Squadrons, for example, it seems like it would be very difficult to reconcile those stories with Heir to the Empire and bring that into the canon easily enough based on the groundwork that's been laid so far. Could be wrong, it's certainly possible, but it seems more like the Darth Bane novel and the Shatterpoint Mace Windu novel that the opportunities might be a little better in those places. But then again, yeah, maybe Legends is just Legends and we shouldn't make any more out of it than exactly that. Swinging back, though, to the labeling situation, there are action figures that have been released by Hasbro and continuing to be released that actually have the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary sticker on the packaging. And so those ones are being marketed as, hey, this is specifically about Lucasfilm's 50th. And so that's why, in thinking about the publishing situation, I'm not sure the High Republic necessarily counts in this regard because of the fact that it hasn't been marketed under a 50th anniversary initiative. It seems like this Essential Legends collection is what we're really talking about in that regard. And Lucasfilm Games has been pretty active to start the year, and there have been a lot of announcements of new games being developed and so forth, but none of those have been associated with the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary banner either, so that suggests that we have more announcements about Lucasfilm games coming in the year ahead. And as far as the action figures go, there was actually an announcement in March of an action figure that relates to the Bad Batch series that will be debuting on Disney Plus next month. And yeah, so there's a new kind of trooper, and the trooper really does seem kind of like it's a precursor to either the Death Troopers or even, I know Shadow Trooper isn't a thing, but they just made an action figure of that thing again. And even kind of the Dark Troopers in a way. So this character is called an Elite Squad Trooper, and the description says, after the formation of the Galactic Empire, a small group of highly skilled enlisted recruits is tasked with neutralizing anti-imperial insurgents throughout the galaxy. So I think this gives us a little bit more insight into the kind of trouble into which the Bad Batch will be getting as their series begins and their story continues when it debuts on May the 4th. And so that's where I'm going to leave things for now, but I am now hip to the whole 50th anniversary situation, and so as more things come up in regard to that, then we'll talk about them here on the show. But for now, that is going to do it for today's episode. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it as always, and may the Force be with you, wherever in the world you may be.
7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.